Welcome to the Family Dynamics Podcast.
You have to just be willing to talk about these things, and you have to be willing to put it all on the table.
Learn firsthand from the power couple who's built a healthy relationship from major and minor issues,
The good, the bad, the ugly,
to triumphs of the family unit.
In this day and age, you need somebody by your side.
Utilize proven techniques and strategies to help your relationship and family thrive to the next level.
you have to compromise.
This is the Family Dynamics Podcast with Kevin and Alicia Meeks.
Welcome to another episode of the Family Dynamics Podcast. I am Kevin, and I am in the studio with my beautiful wife, Alicia Meeks.
Hey, y'all, hey.
On our podcast, we talk about marriage, family, blended families, co-parenting, just all around the triumphs, the adversities of family, and just everything about the family dynamics.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about the expectations of the holidays. Like today we celebrating Valentine's Day. And there's a lot of people have a huge expectation of this day. Like, I had to first acknowledge, don't my wife look beautiful today? For our people that are on our YouTube video podcast,
Thank you,
give me a number one for if you see my wife looking beautiful on Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Ruby.
So yeah, we're talking about the expectations of Valentine's Day or any holiday for that matter. So what do you think that people have an issue with when it comes to the expectation of? Let's just pick this holiday for instance.
Well, with Valentine's Day, I just think that it's a very significant day to women. I'm not like 1,000% sure, but I know I was a part of a masterclass, a self-love masterclass that Love McPherson, our marriage counselor, Love McPherson, she was having a masterclass for self-love because it's just crazy the amount of pressure that is on people and specifically women during holidays like this. Because this is the holiday, where basically it's blatant whether or not you're chose, whether or not somebody picked you. And what woman doesn't want to be loved? Like, that's, most women want to be loved. So I think Valentine's Day highlights those who don't have a mate, even if they're not married, but somebody checking for them.
But let's just unpack that first part. You was like pressure for women. Like what was the pressure for women? Is it the pressure of having a mate or not? Or again, it's another year I don't have a mate, or pressure to, because it's the more of a receiving to the women's, right?
Women should be receiving, but the pressure that's on them is like, it's a reality check. If you're not in a relationship and you don't have anyone you're dating, that's like, it may feel like pressure. I mean, I was single at one point in time, and I made the best of it when I was single. One time I just thought about everybody else, like people whose husbands were deceased or people who were divorced, and I went around and I gave out flowers. That's the way I played it, like a couple of years, and I felt that way because my parents had been divorced since I was in middle school, but when my mom was alive, I felt the need to ensure that she knew she was loved. So on Valentine's Day, my sister and I, we always made sure we went and, draped her in gifts and balloons and chocolates, because that is a holiday that just points out whether or not you have somebody that loves you. So even though my mom wasn't getting it from a man because she didn't have a spouse, she was getting it from us, and she knew she was loved. She was loved by us, her daughters. So I just feel like it's heavy on women's mental capacity, and that is the reason, I'm sure, why Love McPherson made the master's class about self-love, because you have to love yourself and know that you are enough with or without a man, and figure out a way to make it through holidays like this, and just know it's not going to always be that way. And even if it is, you have to just be content with the fact, let's just pretend it remains that way. Will you be okay?
Right.
Did anybody die? No. So, I mean, I'm sitting in a different seat this year, because I'm married. But there have been times in my life, I mean, I was single for so many years before I got married, where I was single, I was dating, but I wasn't dating so seriously where that person felt the need to give me nothing for Valentine's Day. I mean, I didn't have anyone majorly serious at times. So that's the pressure I'm talking about mentally.
But what is, and I really, because now, I mean, I see that it's more women that are not, that doesn't have like a mate or someone significant in their life, that I really do feel for those women, like, because this is a romantic
Why
romantic
you sound
holiday.
like that? I really feel for them.
I'm saying that because I'm married. Like, I think that everybody should have somebody. Like, I really do.
But some people don't want nobody. Some people, don't want nobody because they don't want.
But then they don't fit in the pressure
commitment.
Category then.
Right, they don't.
They don't fit in the pressure category.
But even though they may not want somebody on this day, they may want to be celebrated. But that's what I'm saying. Like, look at that stigmatism that you just, made. Like, oh, I feel bad for them. But why is it like that? Like, why can't it just be today, Valentine's Day? Whoever got somebody, got somebody.
Well, I just think that this day is highlighted when it comes to women. But I'm saying I feel bad for those women that they have that pressure because they don't have anyone. Mm-hmm. I do feel bad because it takes a mental and emotional toll on women, single women, or women who have a relationship that they don't feel like this relationship is 100%. And I do feel bad.
And it can mess with people's self-esteem.
Absolutely.
They may feel like, dang, why wasn't I chose? Why was it?
Right.
Why am I the one? And then the next thing that is the issue during Valentine's Day is the breakups. Because you realize you may not be all what you thought you was to somebody, because they may not even be with you, and you realize you the side chick.
But real quick, for people who are in regular relationships or married, is there a pressure for a married woman, from a married woman, now that she's in a relationship and she has what she has what she needs? Is there a pressure for these days? Is it a pressure for the husband to have to provide, or the boyfriend have to provide? Is there an expectation like he better, or I better get, or like what? Like, coming from a single standpoint, like, no, I didn't have nobody to celebrate with, so now I have somebody to celebrate with. I'm in a relationship or I'm married. Like, what is the mindset now?
It depends on you. Initially, like the first year I was dating my husband. The first Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
What happened? So the
first Valentine's Day? We got engaged.
Last.
We did. We got engaged on the 8th of February.
What was that? Sweetest day? When you was moving your mom?
Oh.
Yeah, well, you was my fiance. He was my fiance at the time. So it was our first Valentine's Day because, as everybody know, we got married fast. And so we were dating in August, and then September, October, November, December, January. February 8th, he proposed to me. So he's my new fiance.
Sure.
So I am so excited about Valentine's Day. Like, I was just so excited. Like, oh my gosh, my first Valentine's Day. And it's just even, bigger and highlighted because he just proposed to me like a few days ago. Womp womp. Next thing you know, he's moving his mom. So basically my whole Valentine's Day was shot. I seen him. I mean, it just was poor timing. I mean, that's great. He was helping his mom. That's not the point. It just ended up being on the wrong day. Like, definitely help your mom, whatever you need to do. But I'm saying we're talking about Valentine's Day, and it had been so many years that I had been single and didn't have someone on Valentine's Day, and my very first Valentine's Day. So that's how significant this day is to people, especially people who have been single and now they have someone. You look forward to celebrating this day with your significant other. And for me, I was like head over heels. I had just got engaged. I just couldn't wait. And it just totally wasn't what I wanted it to be.
But you talking about the first day? Like moving forward to people who are in relationships, is there a pressure from that first, like, is there pressure like year 5, year 4?
When I think about now, we're approaching year 7.
Right.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything right now. It's just so much going on. I just wasn't. I mean, I'm happy that my husband decided to do whatever it is that he wanted to do. He gave me 2 choices, whether or not I wanted to go on a rendezvous with him or if I wanted to get my office transformed. Guess what your girl picked? To get my office transformed, I chose the most responsible response because right now I'm working from home. I'm just not okay with my office space because I never really paid much attention to it. And so, yes, I wanted to get my office done. But the point is, to answer his question, I feel like throughout the years, as like now we're on year 7, well, we're approaching year 7 in March. I wasn't really expecting anything, and I wasn't gonna like have a tantrum if I didn't get anything. My husband just had heart surgery. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't putting any pressure on him to get me anything. I just wasn't.
I think for the man's perspective, that this year, or every year when it comes to Valentine's Day, that there's a pressure to do better than the last year or to do something, because now with social media, you have
felt
so
pressure?
I mean, as a spouse, there's because regardless if I know like you don't care about this day, because you know that we have plans, we have agendas going on, and what does this day that I'm gonna celebrate with everybody else, then I just be like everybody else. I do know that as a spouse and as a woman, like you still want to be celebrated, appreciated, and thought about on this day. I can't remove that and say like, oh no, she don't matter, and I'm not gonna put that in my mind to say 10 years down the line like, oh, she don't care about that. But there is a pressure like, what can I do to make her feel great on this day? Like how can I? For me, in my mind, it's like, well, I don't wait to these days to celebrate or appreciate my wife, but it doesn't diminish the fact that, hey, I know my wife is going to wake up and she's going to see social media and everything else. Not just because it's monkey see, monkey do. Is that, well, why not? Why not give a card? Why not give an option? Why not give a gift?
Well,
why
that's
not?
fine. I mean, I appreciate it.
But I'm just telling you, for a lot of fellas, that it does feel up pressure.
I definitely understand what you're saying. And, I'm thankful that you feel the need. But honestly, like you were, alluding to, like, we don't wait until these holidays in order to celebrate each other or do anything we want to do. I mean, just like with Christmas with our kids, it's to the point where, well, what do y'all want? And they just be sitting there. So we had turned Christmas into, let's make a memory, because they get stuff throughout the year for no apparent reason. So I actually, for our daughter, I was like, so which one would you prefer?
Right.
Let's just go out for Christmas? Or would you prefer your life the way it is, where you just getting Uggs for no reason today? Or,
right.
Whatever it is, trips and, just whatever for no reason. That's how blessed you are. So you don't have to wait on a specific day. And my grandfather was, a stickler about that. Like, these man-made holidays, you don't have to wait till these man-made holidays to show your appreciation, love, and respect for your spouse.
Yeah, I've always been an advocate for that, especially when I talk to other guys. Like, come on, man, don't wait, because I mean it's cliche. Like, oh, Valentine, oh, sweetest day, oh, I mean, you got so many. Like, if you need prompts to do or to appreciate your spouse, on both ends, shame on you a bit.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not knocking people who not there yet, and you are in a new situation where, hey, I'm trying to feel things out or whatever, but still, we should be moving into, hey, I appreciate you today. I'm gonna bring some flowers. I'm gonna wash your car. I'm gonna fill up your tank, or I'm just gonna cook dinner, or I'm gonna straighten up, like, and moving away from gender roles and just doing. If you see something, you see a need, fill a need. You know what I mean? And don't wait for the what do they call the herd of holidays. Like, everybody is buying, everybody is Christmas, like, you know, you get to be all in the pack, you know.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of, like I said, a lot of women, they waited so long to be in a relationship to where now they got a cookie cutter man, cookie cutter boyfriend, where birthdays, Christmas, Valentine. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I don't
Come on,
want
you got 365 days and you're only using 5 of them.
Yeah, because I wouldn't just want to, just like, you know, with the kids. Like, they don't only just want to get something on Christmas. I don't only want to just, you know, be appreciated on these specific dates that have been highlighted on the calendar. Like, when the spirit move you.
Yeah, yeah.
When the spirit move you, go ahead, do whatever it is you want to do. Like, just do it, whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it.
Yeah, and that just goes back to what we were saying about the expectation. I don't, like, there's like, because I'm in tune with my wife so much, it's not about, like, let's go get Rolls Royce, Gucci, Louis, Prada. My wife just may want a coffee today. She may just want the popcorn she like. Like, it doesn't take much to appreciate somebody or to show that you love them.
Yeah.
With the small things. Now, we're going to get to the big things, and if anybody has been following us for a length of time, that we have no problem with pulling our pockets out for either one of each other. So I just think that we go so far because we watching TV, we watching commercials, we watching social media. It doesn't take that much. And I think you have some people, especially men and women, you have some unexpected expectation that you have to produce something, that you have to buy something.
Well, I mean, I'm with you. I do feel that social media does, you know, play a huge part in the expectations of persons on days like this, because you watching social media and you know what? Believe half of what you see.
I'm trying to tell you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, you gotta believe half of what you see. Sometimes people may be in the store taking a video of the perfume or the purse. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people is doing it for the gram. I definitely don't do anything for the gram. That's just me. I'm not doing nothing for the gram. Whatever you see is what it really is. But I'm just saying, I am very aware of some instances where persons were stunting and it wasn't even their car or cap. I guess I'm old talking about stunting. But I'm just saying, you know, and so with this social media and people putting out their vision of how they want you to think things are, you know, that can really mislead you. And so, you know, I went down the post, likety like, you know, but I don't weigh it so heavy. Like, I don't know. It doesn't affect me. But I'm just saying, if you're a single person sitting at home scrolling
and being envious,
you could feel a way, and it could make you envious. You know, it could make you envious. I saw all these beautiful proposals, and some of this stuff wasn't even out. You know, those big marquee letters and stuff wasn't even out when my proposal came. But I was like, low-key jealous of them. Like, look at this. Like, you know, but it wasn't even out when I got, you know, engaged. But, you know, you just look. But I was happy for them. I was clicking on almost all the proposals I clicked on them to see where they was going. Some was okay, but some were actually like going viral because it was just sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So what would you tell like a young lady who is sitting at home, or a young man? Well, I speak for the man, but that's sitting at home and they watching social media and they are feeling a little envious. And there's nothing wrong with wanting something that you see.
Everything that glitter ain't gold. That's what I would tell them.
But you deserve, you deserve to have you somebody that you can celebrate and spoil the way you see it online.
What I'll say is stay faithful.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know your spiritual, level or what have you, but personally for me, I just knew that God was going to come through for me. You know what I'm saying? And he knew the desires. That's what it is. God knows the desires of your heart. God knew the desire of my heart, because the desire of everyone's heart is different. Some people do not want to be in, long-term relationships. They don't. So for those people, whatever. But for the people who do desire to be in long-term relationships, marriage, you know what I'm saying? For those people, you have to keep the faith and stay faithful, because God can work in the suddenly. It can be your suddenly season. Just boom, boom, boom. I mean, I was single for all these years, and then everything happened so fast. And I'm just like, whoa. But then why put on the brakes? Put on the brakes for what? Like, you've been waiting for this. Like, what are you putting on the brakes for? So, and that's another thing. Move when, however the spirit moves you.
But we talk about this all the time. This next statement: do not despise small beginnings. Mm-hmm. And if you are watching social media and feel like you should have this, and because it don't look like this person ain't for me, I'm telling you, sister or brother, that is the wrong way to receive a blessing. To think that, it's not a blessing because it's not wrapped in this.
Yeah.
My wife and I saw an attraction to her, and we was at a parade in the hood. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, yes, I think I want to try this. It wasn't, and I was homeless at the time. I was living out the trunk of my car. Now, if she would have said...
If I was shallow.
If she would have said, it ain't wrapped the way my mind and what social media has been showing me, it ain't it. She may have been missed out. Mm-hmm. Well, I may have missed out. Like, I don't want no girl that's, kicking it in the hood. It ain't wrapped in the way I think or whatever. I could have missed out. Yeah. I'm not telling you to diminish or to downgrade your, what do they call it, what you want, your standard. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm a witness. I mean, it just is. I personally, on the outside looking in, everyone thinks like, oh my gosh, she's so high maintenance. I'm really not. Like, we met in Robbins, which anybody who lives in Illinois knows that's like this little bitty old town, and it ain't nothing really fancy about it. But that's where my family is from. And that is where we were. We were at a parade, and, it went from there. And no, in that moment, I didn't know who runs down, so where you living? Do you have somewhere to live? Who's doing all of that? No. So from there, through after many phone conversations and courting, I found out like, oh, okay, he's in between residences. And so did it make me feel a way? No. And it made me feel a way. It did make me feel a way. I felt like, oh, I got this whole basement. I was living in a big old townhouse, 4 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, And so I was just like, you could stay in my basement if you want to. Like, that's just me. God knew what I wanted had nothing to do with what was in his pocket or his home. I had my own home, my own vehicle. I was fine. What I wanted was companionship. And so God knew that he can give me his time, attention, and companionship. Everything else was gravy, just extra. But, if I would have looked at it like, if I would have looked down upon him, Like, I was talking to him and his conversation, he was so intelligent, and we were able to have all these deep, intelligent conversations, which was communication, and all of that just really turned me on. I just was like, oh, I like this. You know what I'm saying? And we actually didn't even go on an official date until after we were engaged because I was busy. My daughter was in all-star cheer. I was a single mom. I was on the go. Like, when he met me, it was all-star season. Like, it was kicking off. And so, you know, I was busy. I didn't have time on the weekends to go nowhere with him. So, you know, he would come over. We'd have Netflix and chill.
Yeah, we did. We didn't go on there. And when I say I'm homeless, I was...
In between, I said in between residences, but the fact is, in between residences and homeless.
But when you can't, when you meeting somebody, it's hard in these day and age. It's like, oh yeah, my car in the shop. Oh yeah, I'm buying a house. Oh yeah, you know, everything sounds like a lie. So the truth is,
he did tell me he was buying a house, and I thought like, sure.
But look, my thoughts, I'm like, I'm telling this girl I'm buying a house. That sounds like a lie.
Yeah, I mean, he literally was.
But I was.
Like, we were dating in August. In October, he closed on his house. So clearly, he was already, because we started dating at the very end, like August 30th or something. So clearly, he was buying the house. But when he told me, I didn't care, first of all, whether he was buying a house or not. But when he told me, I was like, sure he is. Yeah, you know, like a lot of people just be saying they buying something, they renting or, you know, whatever. But I just was like, sure. Like, but it didn't matter to me if he was or wasn't. But come to find out, he was telling the truth. Yeah. He was telling the truth.
But I was for real. I had my stuff packed in the trunk, and then she was very accommodating. She was like, yeah, you want to come? You can come stay. But this is the thing, though. It wasn't uncommon. We was on the phone all day. So for me to come see her like regular relationship, I'm coming to see you, and we falling asleep talking, it wouldn't be nothing different. So the moral of the story is that don't despise small beginnings.
Yeah.
Here we are. We owning businesses. We built our house from the ground up. We had rental property, and we didn't look at what each other had or what we were at that time. My whole thought is I'm going to build upon whatever she has, and we're going to build a life together. And that's what we've been doing, building a life together.
Yeah.
Through the adversities and the triumphs. Like, we building a life together. And that's just what I want to take away, that I want to give the ladies and the men. Like, today has been a great Valentine's Day because I'm able to spend it with my wife. By myself, we were able to enjoy, laugh, talk, whatever.
Yeah, we carefree this weekend.
We are, and them some of the things I appreciate. Like, man, you don't get these times often. Like, my wife works a lot, and then she has a whole group she take care of. She got classes she in, so to have uninterrupted time. That's why I told in my stories, like, hey, if you ain't got no money, look, this is a perfect time to be intentional about spending that time, having a conversation. Quality time.
Yeah.
So, again, this is Kevin and Alicia Meeks on the Family Dynamics podcast. We love family. We love marriage. We love to see families win. Please share this out with somebody. Share this if you feel like this was something that someone else needs to hear. Share this with somebody. Put down in the comments on our YouTube, or leave us a rating on our Apple Podcasts, a Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Leave us a review because we want to continue to serve families. So we thank you guys, and we'll see y'all next time, and we'll see y'all in a minute.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Family Dynamics Podcast with Kevin and Alicia Meeks.
Thank you, guys.
Please like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to follow us on social media at The Family Dynamics.
We'll see y'all in a minute.
Bye.